Hello and welcome back. Gamma 0.9 has now been released, so in this video I'll be covering the main changes in this update. Quite a lot of these are small tweaks or value changes, so to save time I will only be covering the differences that you will notice in your playthrough. If you found this video useful, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel for future content. I'll be playing the new update live on Twitch, so come join me if you have any questions, link is in the description. Firstly, NPC reactions have been changed. They will now move faster and will recover from being stunned quicker, but NPCs will be more likely to get stunned. This in theory buffs fully automatic weapons as more rounds which hit the Stalker will stun it. Stalkers moving faster is also a great thing for people who use companions a lot, as they should trail behind less now. On to visuals now. A new grass mod has been added which will make the grass look a lot better. In addition, Gamma will use Hippo's Reshade by default. I personally think this is a great addition as I've been using Hippo's Reshade anyway in my Gamma install. Here are some few examples. The next changes is more loose loot around the zone. This is a great change as prior to this there was little to no reason to explore every building and tent in the zone. But now there will be an assortment of items ranging from gun and ammo parts to junk items and base medication items which can be used for crafting. If you are tired of having to go talk to multiple stalkers just to get a few quests to earn money and goodwill, then this change is for you. In the contacts tab of your PDA there will now be multiple listings made by other stalkers nearby asking you to do quests. This is a great quality of life change as it puts all the quests into one place. The auto looting mod has been added to 0.9. What this mod does is speed up the looting process of stalkers by automatically taking all useful items. It is even smart enough to strip parts from guns which are above 60% durability, which is the minimum durability required to repair the part without having to replace it. All this can be done by pressing the Alt key when in the inventory. This mod has a vast settings menu which allows you to customize to your liking by manually choosing what to loot and even the option to automatically disassemble certain items. Crafting has been changed a bit. Firstly, you are now required to find recipes or to buy them from ecologist or mechanic traders. Without them you won't be able to craft most items, even if you have the toolsets. Exo repair kits can no longer be bought from mechanics and must be crafted. The whole medical crafting system has been overhauled. It aims to make the system more focused on upgrading medicines to better versions. This change makes crafting medicines more advantageous than just buying them from traders. On to weapons now, and there have been two new additions. The first is the Ithaca M37 shotgun. There are 5 variants of the shotgun being added, but they are all quite similar. They are all 12 gauge and cannot attach sights. The RPM is quite low, so if I were to rate these guns they would go into D tier. The only exception is the trench gun variant, which has a higher fire rate, so it will go into C tier. The second addition is the Ace 52. This rifle shoots 7.62x51. It has a great range of sights and is automatic. The 20 round capacity is okay, but the fire rate is quite low. I'd put this gun into A tier. There was also a few adjustments to other weapons. The Ash 12 now does a bit more damage, but the bullets travel slower, so you'll need to compensate more at longer range. The SR25 has had its recoil reduced, which is interesting as the gun was already extremely strong. The MP5 Fraser, or the 45 ACP MP5, has also had its recoil reduced and can now be found on high-ranking stalkers. The 7.62x39 Groza has also had its recoil reduced, and has now been made exclusive to duty soldiers. 20x70 spread has been increased and 12 gauge spread has been slightly reduced. The Carabinier has now been made to use the army rifle kit instead of the historic kit. The Gauss rifle now has parts. The Mosin can no longer use AP rounds, and finally, the PU and ZF scopes have had their zoom slightly increased. Loadouts have been edited a bit. The SKS have been removed from higher progression difficulties and has been replaced by the Mosin. The Mosin and the K98 now cost 1050 points. I think the Mosin is the superior choice here. The ISG loadout has been changed to have better starting weapons, which helps ISG a lot as they're very combat orientated. Onto ammo now. 762x54 is now available on level 1 Warsaw Pack traders. Pair this with the Mosin being available to start with and you have a very powerful starting loadout. 792x57 has now been made the same price as 762x54. This kind of voids my previous tip about buying 792 to craft 762x54, as you might as well just straight up buy the 54 now. But this can still be used to craft 762x51 if you can't buy it. The quantity of 762x39 has been reduced on traders. Crafting wise, 12.7x55 AP, Hydra Shock, 556 and 545 HP rounds are easier to craft. Water radiation has also been changed a bit. Previously, even slightly touching the water, especially in the Great Swamps, would cause you to implode with radiation. Now, water radiation across the zone will be the same, and looking at the values, they're pretty much all been lowered across the board. You'll still receive an increased dose of radiation in the water, but it will be nowhere near as impactful as before. There has been a small grace period added when entering a radiation zone, including water. You will not receive any radiation for a short amount of time after entering the zone, giving you a chance to escape the area. Stashes have also had a few changes. Unfortunately, the chance of finding toolkits in white stashes have been reduced, and finding toolkits in green stashes have been increased. The reason I say unfortunate is because green stashes are a lot more rarer than white stashes. Therefore, toolkits from stashes have been made rarer altogether. Ammo has also been reduced from stashes, and if you receive a stash from a dead stalker, it is more likely to be in the same area as you've looted the body. Obviously the toolkit nerf sucks, but the area change makes it easier to loot stashes as they'll be near you more often. Mutants have also been changed slightly. Fractures have had the damage resistance of their bodies increased, making them stronger, but headshots will still take the same amount of damage to kill. Thankfully, Snorks have had their health reduced. This makes fighting them slightly less painful. Both pseudo-dogs and dogs have received a retexture. The new texture is a lot more detailed and makes them look scarier in my opinion. Speeding through the last major changes, the font and UI everywhere has changed. Monolith, Sin and ISG have now been prevented from spawning in southern areas, basically everywhere Rostock and below. Crows will now have a small chance of having an AP bullet head when looting them. Sin now start with the Not or Lucifer artifact, which kind of makes up for them not having a main story, but not really. Most factions will have different loadouts for their NPC stalkers. Aslan's Lottery has been nerfed again. Previously, this was a great way to get lots of artifacts. Now, the 15 and 30 patch option has been removed for just a 20 patch option, and the amount of items received for each one has been decreased. Now you can only get one artifact at a time. And lastly, NPC loot claim has been enabled by default. This means that if you did not kill a stalker and the person who did it is still alive, you cannot loot the dead body without aggroing the killer on you. So that is the major changes for Gamma 0.9 update. Overall, I think this update brings multiple changes which will change up how most people play the game, and it is definitely worth trying if you haven't played Gamma in a while or at all. Once again, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel for future content. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.